Welcome to the campaign trail. Peace. Let's get to it, shall we? Will P. Diddy ever even make it to court to testify? Dealing with Diddy situation, a whole lot of mess, whole lot of opinions, a whole lot of silence, a whole lot of opinions by people that wasn't around him, and a whole lot of silence by people that was. So that speaks volumes. So this is something I came across. Just going to do a quick timeline of stuff that's going on. Sean Diddy Combs files a lawsuit against Diageo or whatever in May. The timeline is he filed the lawsuit in May 2023. Last year in May is when he filed. So apparently something was going on for a year or two, or maybe 3 prior to that, because it says he claims that the company treated his liquor brand as inferior and limited their distribution to urban, quote unquote, urban neighborhoods, I guess ghettos, black neighborhoods. So if he filed the lawsuit in 2023, in May 2023, then he must have been dealing with, I guess, maybe a couple of years worth of feeling like the company treated his liquor brands as inferior and restricted them or limited their distribution to urban neighborhoods. So Puff, who is black, also accused them of racism and said that the company leadership told him that his race was a reason for the limited distribution. Combs withdrew the lawsuit and settled with Diageo in January the next year in 2024. So with that as a backdrop, May 2023, if he filed in May 2023, so he must have been feeling for maybe a couple of years that they was tripping on him for some reason. And if you know what I posted up yesterday or earlier, the reminder of Puffy airing Minister Farrakhan's July 4th, 2020 live message called The Criterion on his Revolt channel, his Revolt TV station. That happened in 2020, right? And you saw all the backlash that I posted with the various, Jewish groups and organizations that was outraged and lighting him up. So that happened in the middle of 2020, in the summer of 2020, July 4th. So maybe they felt a certain kind of way and they started pulling back on their support for any of his products. So by the time May 2023 came, he had been allegedly getting handled such a limited type way with the distribution that he filed a lawsuit against this particular liquor company that he was in business with, a partner with, in 2023. So 2020 is when he aired Minister Farrakhan's address, where Minister Farrakhan, that was one of the most, if not the most controversial in our time address or message, especially streamed live on a black television station, where he defied the whole government, talking about Minister Farrakhan, and warned us all in America, black people in America first, and black people in Africa and people around the world, warned us all to not take the Fauci juice. Remember that? It hadn't came out yet. They was about to roll it out. And Joe Biden was, I guess, maybe just got elected, and he was about to take office or something, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And he was pressing to get 100 million of those into American arms in the first 100 days of his presidency. He was pushing for 100 million in the first 100 days. But Minister Farrakhan was able to get his message out by way of Revolt TV to all of us, those, that was going to heed his warnings or instructions, whether we did or not. But he was able to get that message out, and we saw the response. We saw the backlash and the outrage and the accusations of Diddy and being anti this and being this for hosting Minister Farrakhan and blah, blah, blah. So from 2020, July, up until May 2023, apparently Diddy was having problems with whoever he was in business with.
So now, where are our leaders? Our leaders fell off because they wanted to be close to their former slave masters. So when you, instead of wanting freedom, you want to be close to the man that gave you hell all your life, then what price are you willing to pay for closeness to your enemy? So he gives you a political position because your political position is his position, and you there to serve his interests, not the interests of your people. So most of us are bought and paid for whores. How in the hell can a whore lead you and you not see it? The Bible says these are hirelings. These are people that don't have no love for their people. They want money. And it's money that has led the church to hell, because the church don't give a damn about these young people in the street. The church don't go out and get those young people. The church is afraid of them. Because they don't have a job, they don't tithe. So who the hell cares about them? Jesus did. That's why he had to tell them crazy disciples, suffer the little children to come unto me and forbid them not, for of such is the kingdom of heaven.
We've never played this game. This is another level of gangster. But I played this game before, you know? I started in 2004 with Vote or Die, and this is the evolution of that thought, of that empowerment, of that independence, of us taking self-accountability so we're not caught with our pants down like this election. Right now, we're not gonna get nothing. We caught with our pants down. We're not organized, we're not ready to really take this on. I went through the experience of politics. I played the game with the Democratic Party. The people that I went and campaigned for, after they got elected, I don't feel like they really did anything to change the reality of black people. Like I was blessed enough to find God come to me and tell me my purpose. And he told me my purpose is to play a part in saving the black race. The Vote or Die Diddy was about politics and, you know, trying to be supportive. And also, you know, they kind of guilt us in the votings, you know? But as I evolved, I realized this is a business. This is a transaction. This is the closest thing to the streets than the streets that I've seen. I'm launching one of the boldest movements that I've ever launched. And it's called Our Black Party. It's time for us to have our own black political party, unapologetically. Because right now, if you look at the debates, we're not even a part of the conversation.
Not at all.
We're not a part of the conversation. We don't have any political power. We don't have any political leverage. And so we started Our Black Party with some young, fearless black activists, elected officials, and I've stepped up and put the money behind it. This is the biggest threat and the only option that we have right now as far as making a change, taking our own self-responsibility and accountability to be educated and empowered with our vote.
So what's the goal for Our Black Party?
Our Black Party's #1 goal is to unify behind a black agenda. That's it. You could be a part of the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, you could be an independent, but if you black, you wasn't born Republican, you wasn't born Democrat, you wasn't born independent, you was born black. And we have to seize our political power, because it'll just be more of the same. Being pushed this way, being pushed that way, and we expecting
a different result.
But the definition of insanity is like doing the same thing over and over the same way, expecting a different result, and it's not gonna happen. So we have to change the tone. We gotta start with us stepping up and really taking the responsibility and accountability to be a part of this political movement.
The hardest part of that is going to be getting other black people to buy into it.
This is not for all black people. You know what I'm saying? This is not for the scary ones. This is for the ones that want to move things forward and want to get to the smoke. A black person spends an average of like 5 hours on Instagram a day. If you could give Instagram that time, 15 minutes you could give to educating yourself. And our Black Party's that platform. So when we get down to the local elections, when we get down to the school board, we get down to the judges and the justices, that's so confusing for us.
So as a backdrop, we get to 2024. This says January 16th, 2024, in the upper right hand corner. January 16th, 2024. Diddy settles racism lawsuit against Diageo, or however you pronounce that, over his tequila partnership. The deal will end a case in which the rapper claimed that the liquor maker typecast his De Leon tequila brand and treated it poorly because he is Black. He settles this lawsuit. He files it in May 2023 and settles it apparently in January 2024. So I don't know what he settled it for, how much he settled it for. So I'm just trying to give you a timeline of what happened to right now in 2024 or early this year, whenever the whole Cassie thing dropped, all that Cassie stuff. Maybe y'all know, because I don't really be following it like this, but just on my common sense, my regular mathematical brain timeline, chronological order, I'm sure y'all can put it together way better than I can. When the Cassie thing happened and how close to him filing the lawsuit to where the Cassie thing came out, you know what I'm saying? Was that their way of responding or retaliating to his lawsuit? So y'all can do the math on the timelines on that, but that opened the door, that opens Pandora's box to where we are today, which leads to the title, will Diddy ever even make it to court to testify? If he has the tapes and the video recordings of whoever he alleged or they fear that he might, do we still have the tapes? Did he make some copies and have them put away or spread out or dispersed through different places in the world? Or what's going on with that? And now, once he gets picked up, he's in their custody. Now they saying this when he first gets there, And TMZ reports Diddy is saying, no, I'm not self-deletional, but they put me on this watch. And it said at the bottom, he was placed on such watch at the MDC in New York, but he's not such and such, at least according to his lawyer. So they claim that that's standard procedure for high profile people. But if they said that's what it was, and then this article had to come after that, the next day, a day later, I'm sure, a couple of days later, he's saying, no, I'm not. But what are they trying to set the stage for? And then today, this guy right here, I forgot his name. It's like a Jewish name, something Levine, dude that was a federal inmate at many federal prisons. And he said he got some inside sources from people at MDC that was saying that Diddy allegedly has stopped eating or is scared to eat any of the food in jail because, according to him, he's scared that they will poison him. So he had his religious advisor or religious whoever clergy person come in to see him, and they're claiming now that he only can eat kosher, like the Jewish dietary foods, kosher meals. He can only eat kosher meals. That's clearly, like, if that's true, he clearly ain't on no self-deletion watch. If he on a hunger strike or he, not eating because he's scared that, they're going to put something, it's not funny. I'm not laughing at it. But if he's scared that somebody's going to put something in his food, like they allege he had put or it was putting in other people's food or drinks. My point, though, is once they got you in their custody like that, the Epstein play or the Sandra Bland play, rest in peace, may Allah be pleased with Sandra Bland. How many of us actually believe that she deleted herself? Did she look like she had any type of spirit or mentality or depression, like she wanted to delete herself over a traffic stop, Sandra Bland? But, you know, that's what happened to her. And on that note, you know, just segueing real quick, you know, I wanted to give a moment of silence and condolences, and may Allah be pleased to the brother that they just executed, the state of Missouri, brother Marcellus Williams, who was an imam. And you see the headlines. I'm not going to really go into that, but, you know, prayers go out to his family, his friends, loved ones. I don't know the case, but just the fact, you know, what I read about it and the insufficient evidence and all of that, it just reminds me why I do what I do and why we at war, and we can't never act like this is some post-racial, integrated, cool society where we can get along together in peace, because we see what that is. So rest in peace. May Allah be pleased with the brother, and with all our brothers and sisters that have been taken down and taken out by the wickedness and the corruption of these oppressors. And this was his last, I believe, last words 2 days ago. His last statement. I would like to submit the following as my last statement. All praise be to Allah in every situation, with 3 exclamation marks. And this was September 21st. So I concur with that, and I agree with that statement before, during, and after. So may Allah be pleased with the brother, and may Allah grant us the victory over the accursed Shaitan, and bless me and bless us to help him to remove them totally from existence.